If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. So we all know Drake as one of the biggest artists in hip-hop right now of this generation. We know him as one of the biggest artists in hip-hop ever, arguably the biggest, and we also know him as one of the most influential and commercially successful artists of the past 10 years, so of the 2010s. And he's actually about to get an award for exactly this at the 2021 Billboard Music Awards for Artist of the Decade. And I kind of want to talk about this, talk about Drake's influence in hip-hop, talk about Drake's success worldwide with his music, and just how important he is to music culture, the industry, and hip-hop as well. So Drake first charted in 2009 with Best I Ever Had, a song that, not just the Drake fans out there will know, but that was a really big song for him off of So Far Gone back in that era of Drake. That's like when he first introduced this singing hip-hop style where he was very sentimental in his feelings. We all know him for that. People joke about it, but this is actually what also led to his latest album's name, Certified Lover Boy, which we're still waiting on, which maybe I'll get a little bit into at the end of the video as well. And this is when he first stepped onto the scene and was like, yo, I'm here. And since then, he has outdone himself again and again, musically, artistically, but also commercially. And I know that saying artistically is a bit weird because he's been kind of, imitating more and more in the past 5 years of his career, not being as original as he used to. But just look at his first couple of, projects and albums. I'm talking Take Care, Nothing Was the Same. And then if you're reading this up to that point, he was truly just, outdoing himself again and again. But what I want to say is that this award, Artist of the Decade at the 2021 Billboard Music Awards, this goes to the artist that has the most recorded, Hot 100 songs and also top 10s on Billboard. Because obviously this is just a Billboard award, but the Billboard Hot 100 very, adequately represent the charts and kind of what the theme and the mood is in the music culture and community. So let's talk his numbers. He has 9 number 1 albums in the last decade, or projects, because some of them technically count as mixtapes, if you're reading this, but they're truly albums if, we don't kid ourselves. And the numbers that I'm about to say are really impressive because he has 6 number 1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100. He has the most entries for any artist of all time in the Billboard Hot 100 with 232. This is completely insane when you think about some artists just getting that one chart entry and already being successful. Drake has 232 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 over his career, and that is incredible. And the top 10s, he has 45. So insane numbers, but we all knew that Drake is, a really big artist, very successful commercially. And when you think kind of back over his career, you can really see how he has influenced people's life. I know a lot of you guys are Drake fans. We've been talking about Drake on the Discord as well. And some of you are diehard Drake fans, and me myself included. Drake has occupied that number 1 rapper spot for me for years at a time, just influencing me on a personal level growing up, which I think is something that Drake has done for a lot of people, just that very personal touch in his music. But then also he's able to represent any kind of mood. He can sing about his relationship troubles, but then also turn gangster again and do some turn up stuff, which is part of the not the genius, but kind of the ingenuity of his craft and at what he's doing. And that's why I think he's risen to this level of fame. Drake is often accused of not being really tough and just singing, but then, for example, if you're reading this, he completely switched that persona and perception and went hard on every single track on there. Of course, we had tracks like Jungle and stuff like that, but still, that it was he had to show people yo, I'm not just the singing soft guy here. And I think that's that duality in his personality, but then also displaying that in his music is the reason why he has been able to achieve what he's achieved. And the question is if he will continue to do this with, for example, a new album that I mentioned earlier, Certified Lover Boy, or if he's already reached his peak. Because as I said as well, when he first came onto the scene, he was a breath of fresh air. That like melodic singing with then rapping mixed into it was something that we hadn't heard on that level before, and that is why Drake found so much commercial and mainstream appeal. But over the years, that has become the norm. You know, hip hop has got more and more mixed with R&B and pop. Hip hop has become pop, if you wanna. And Drake's sound became less and less revolutionary because people started adopting it more and more. We've seen Drake over the past couple of years, I would say 3 to 4 years, oftentimes just imitate certain waves or certain local sounds that are popping right now. We've seen him do this, for example, on God's Plan, on Look Alive, on Yes Indeed, on all the features that he got on. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great that he's putting a lot of younger, smaller artists on, but also this comes at a price. This comes at the price of his own originality, of his own artistic creativity. And I hope that with Certified Lover Boy, he will be able to recapture that spark, relight that flame that has led people to be drawn to him in the first place, and not just hop on certain waves that are just trending right now. That is what I wish for Certified Lover Boy. I've said this many times before, but these Billboard Music Awards just kind of, and thinking about his career and reminiscing on his legacy has kind of shown that to me more clearly. So if you want to go, see Drake win this award, because he will very likely, pretty surely get this award, the 2021 Billboard Music Awards will take place on May 23rd on NBC, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested in watching Drake, get honored there, then, tune in. Maybe what's also interesting to add is the other biggest artists of the decade. The second biggest artist is Taylor Swift, then Bruno Mars, Rihanna, and Adele. Which I think is, Taylor Swift was pretty clear that she was going to get this spot. I'm surprised at Bruno Mars because, of course, he has been very successful. He hasn't really done anything in a long time, and the last half of the 2010s for him has been very quiet. So, I'm surprised he's honored. Same goes for Rihanna. She hasn't dropped anything since 2016. So those 4 years just went completely, without any material for her to get charted. But this basically, if you can view it in a positive light, this just shows that she was able to, with just, the couple of records that she's dropped, get to that level. So, yeah, that's my take on this. Drake, the artist of the decade at the Billboard Music Awards 2021. They will be live on May 23rd. If you want to go check it out, I definitely will. And yeah, that's all I got to say about this. Now, I want to know what you think about this. Let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.